I still can't wrap my head around the fact that DC killed off one of my favorite new characters just weeks after they were introduced. If you've been watching The Penguin, you'll know that the Penguin claws his way to the top of Gotham City's criminal underworld after the events of 2022's The Batman. From the start, it was obvious Oz would stop at nothing to get what he wanted. But even with that in mind, it's hard to believe the cost of his ambition ended up being one of the show's most critical characters. In the Penguin's finale, Oswald finally gets everything he's been working toward. He unites Gotham's gangs under one banner, manipulates corrupt politicians at City Hall, and even manages to get Sophia Falcone sent back to Arkham State Hospital. By the end, Oz is one of the most powerful criminals in Gotham, or should I just say the most powerful, and obviously the most reckless and heartless. The annoying part is that none of Oz's achievements would have been possible without his right-hand man Victor. And yet, the show ends with Victor's brutal and shocking murder, by Oz himself, no less. It's almost like they dangled his potential in front of us, only to rip it away. Victor's story began back in episode 1 on September 19th, when the Penguin caught him trying to steal the wheels off his Maserati. Instead of killing him, the Penguin took Victor under his wing, turning him into his most trusted ally. Victor proved to be invaluable, helping Oz kickstart his drug operations, protecting Oz's mother, and being the kind of confidant Oz could always rely on. He even saved Oz's life by putting his own life in danger. Over the course of the series, Victor became an audience favorite. He wasn't just another thug. He had a good heart, even as he got deeper into Gotham's criminal world. That's what made his death on November 10th all the more devastating. Without Victor, Oz would not have come close to achieving what he did. It was Victor's idea to rally Gotham's gang leaders and earn their loyalty. He was a strategist, a steady hand, and someone who brought a bit of humanity to the cold, ruthless world of Gotham's underworld. That's why Oz's decision to kill Victor was such a gut punch. It wasn't just shocking, it felt personal. Oz saw Victor as a potential weakness, someone who knew too much and could be used against him, or someone he is becoming so emotionally attached to. Seeing his mother in pain devastated him. He doesn't want to have that kind of emotional attachment with anyone ever again. So, in a twisted bid to secure his power and destroy his weaknesses, the Penguin killed the one person who has been by his side through everything. I really thought Victor had a shot at a redemption arc. He could have been the perfect counterbalance to Oz, a character who, while complicit in crime, still had a moral compass. Maybe he would have grown disillusioned with Oz and walked away by the finale. Maybe he would have fought back against the darker parts of Gotham's underworld. Instead, Victor stayed loyal to the end, and that loyalty is exactly what sealed his fate. What makes it even harder to swallow is thinking about what Victor could have been. He had so much potential. He could have become a deputy for the Penguin in his new empire or, as some theories suggested, a version of Robin in the Batman universe. A character who couldn't ignore the pain and suffering caused by Oz and decided to fight back. Apparently, there were even talks about a scene where Victor would have crossed paths with Robert Pattinson's Bruce Wayne. That interaction could have been a game changer, but it was ultimately scrapped. In the end, Victor's death feels like such a wasted opportunity. He could have added so much to the world of Gotham going forward. Instead, they cut his story short, and it's been hard to shake the feeling of what could have been. Oswald killing Victor, despite everything they'd been through, was the moment that truly broke me. It wasn't just the loss of a character. It was the loss of all the possibilities he represented. They did all this to show how brutal Oz can be in order to achieve his goals. He could have let Sophia Falcone cut off his mother's finger rather than admit what everyone already knows. Oz is a reckless bastard even when there's nothing in it for him. This is someone who heartlessly killed his two brothers at his young age, just because they made fun of him.